Hi guys, this is Team Anonymous. Welcome to this video. Our product is called the NUS Community. Over here, this is a list of all topics that I'm going to cover in this video. Starting with motivation, we want to develop it because as a student, we often spend a lot of time looking for resources online. However, we feel that a lot of information online is irrelevant or even misleading. Moreover, these resources are often located at different platforms. Therefore, with such observation, we want to create NUS Community which integrates a few common requirements shared by all students onto a single platform, and by restricting all clients to be NUS professors and students, we believe that the information provided will be more specific and relevant. Now I'm going to talk about the user stories. We categorize all the users into several groups, and we elaborate the user stories of each group in terms of CRUD, which stands for create, read, update, and delete. So over here, I will explain the user stories by using student who needs help, which is a particular group of users. So for each user story, it is pretty standard. So the first part address the type of users, and the second part address the behavior, the action that can be done in our platform. And lastly, the part after so that explains the motivation or address the need of why the user need to carry out such behavior. So they are all pretty similar. So for a complete list of all user stories, please refer to our README. Now I'm going to talk about the diagrams covered inside our README. The first diagram is a use case diagram. It is a representation of a user's interaction with the system that shows the relationship between the user and the different use cases in which the user is involved. So from this diagram, it is a visualization of all the features in our platform and the various actions that the user can carry out in our platform. So the second diagram is called a class diagram. A class diagram is a type of static structure diagram that describes the structure of a system by showing the system's classes, their attributes, operations, or methods, and the relationships among objects. So from this diagram, the text above is the classes, and the one below it is the attributes, and the one at the bottom are the methods. And over here, the arrows actually represent a kind of relationship between two classes, such as inheritance and other relationship. So the third diagram is called the entity relationship diagram. So an entity relationship diagram shows the relationships of the entity sets stored in the database. An entity in this context is an object, a component of data. An entity set is a collection of a similar entity. These entities can have attributes that define its properties. By defining the entities, their attributes, and showing the relationships between them, an ER diagram illustrates the logical structure of database. So over here, within each box, the one on the left stands for primary key, foreign key, and over here, these are all the fields within a particular class, and the one on the right is the data type of that field. And over here, the arrow here also represents a relationship between two classes. So these arrows are actually called a cardinality between two classes. Moving on to features, our platform has mainly 4 features, which are forum, resource, leaderboard, and message. So the forum is a feature that builds an environment where all clients can ask or respond to various questions ranging from academic to daily life. And the resource feature allows every client to upload and download study materials to our platform. And the leaderboard is a system that displays top users who have the highest contribution points. And lastly, the messenger is a platform where users can communicate with each other in various ways. And this is a possible extension feature because it requires knowledge in networking, and it could be a project on its own, so we'll leave it to do after we have completed the previous features. Lastly, I'm going to talk about the wireframes. The wireframes included inside our platform are the login, dashboard, profile, forum, resource, and message. We drew our wireframes using Balsamiq. So the first page is the login page. It is pretty standard. We have the remember me. When the user click remember me, so when they log in the next time, they don't need to key in their particular information for email and password again. And we also have the hyperlink for forget password and register here in case the user need them. So this is the sign up page. So we intend to do it using the NUS email. So we are going to verify the email over here. So once the user clicking the NUS email, we'll verify by checking whether it has @nu.nus.edu at the last few elements. And after that, we are going to send a verification code. In case the user didn't receive it, we have this resend button to deal with this case. So this is the forget password. We also intend to do it using the verification code, so it's very similar to the previous case. So this is our dashboard page. So over here, there's a feature menu which acts like a navigation bar that will bring the user to the various features page of our platform, such as the features and resource. So this icon over here will navigate the users to the dashboard page, which is this page once the user click this. So this text box over here shows where the user currently at. So this is the username, this text box is the username, and this bell-like button is the notification button, so that once user click inside this button, the user will be able to view all the interactions with other users. So like when the users comment under his post or other things. So this is the logout button. So the image and text over here is for a brief introduction of the features of our platform. So this is the profile page. So it is meant to be simple so that it only contains the necessary information such as the title. So the title over here is actually an achievement of a particular user, such as being a teaching assistant for a particular module at a particular semester. We also have these contribution points to encourage user to post useful information on our platform. We also have these hyperlinks over here that will bring the user to other pages to carry out the necessary action. So over here, this is our forum page. So it is pretty standard. We have this plus sign over here that will allow the user to create a new folder, such as over here it's like one folder could be a food and drink, and then the user will be able to create other folders. So this is actually the main forum. So once the user click inside this folder, it will navigate the users to something called a sub-forum, which looks very similar to this page. So for example, when the user click into module, it will bring the user into like some sub-module pages. So over here, this is our thread user interface. It allows user to create new posts, to delete or edit. So this is the web page when the user actually want to post something. So we have this bar over here like italic, bold to style the user's text. So this is the resource page, very similar to the forum page. It works the same, but just that over here we have this download button. So when the user is currently at one particular folder and he click this button over here, it will allow the user to download that particular folder. So this is the message, also pretty standard. And finally, I'm going to talk about the technology stack. So for front end, we are going to use React, JavaScript, and Bootstrap 4. For back end, we are going to use Node.js and Express.js. So for database, because we are dealing with a lot of relationship, we are going to use MySQL, and we are going to use Git and GitHub, and probably we are going to use NUS Mods API. Thanks for watching.